internet friends, my name is Catherine and I'm the human behind Creation Miss Couture, and today we are going to do another color inspired by Kpop Demon Hunters, and we're going to be working Gwi Ma. I had a very specific idea in mind, and I hope I'm translating it nicely onto the yarn because the aura of Gwi Ma is very interesting, and let's see if I can manage to do it. So for Gwi Ma's color, I'm really going with those very electric violet colors for the outside, but it's still blue like those flame. When you look at the flame, there's always like this inner part that is this very vivid blue. So this is why we're going to go with actually Caribbean blue in this situation, and we're going to be incorporating two types of pink to create the effect of Gwi Ma, because yes, it's like the king of demon, but it feels like a flame, and the stronger it feeds on the souls, the stronger the flame is. We might be doing some speckling to represent the little souls that are being eaten. I'm not 100% sure if we're going to go with that idea just yet. I need to see it on the yarn first, so let's get into this. Let's make some yarn inspired by Gwi Ma from Kpop Demon Hunters. Yes, I know I am still obsessed with that movie. I think we're still going to be doing at least 2 more colors inspired by the movie. I'm not exactly certain. I know that I want to do another color inspired by the song This Is What It Sounds Like, because that song speaks to my soul. So what we're going to be doing first is Gwi Ma. So I don't need this one. What am I doing? I need this. Okay, so we're going to be putting on the respirator because we only have one pair of lungs, so please protect your lungs. It doesn't have to be this specific mask, but please wear something that will protect your lungs from the fine particles. Okay, let's do this. So, first color we are going to do is Caribbean blue. And we want, okay. And always make sure that your scale is at 0 before doing anything. Okay. So, this one's good. We're going to be doing the next one. And since Gwi Ma is like, how can I say? Since he shines quite a bit, I want to add a little bit of fluid fuchsia for that. And we're going to be adding also the deep magenta. Always make sure that you are at 0. I can't find my spoons for the life of me, so you'll have to bear with me. Okay. We are good for those ones. And since we're going to be doing 2 skeins of yarn, I need 200 milliliter of water. Perfect. So now that the dry powder is no longer on a dry powder farm, I can remove my respirator. So we are going to go into the pan. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to be adding the citric acid now, because the colors that were chosen will take time. It's going to take a little bit longer for them to fully strike the yarn. So we want to make sure that we are starting to get it striking the yarn quickly. Okay, let's turn this on. So we have a low immersion, and I've put roughly 2 teaspoons of citric acid. Okay. And I've put 2 cups of tap water before adding the first layer of colors. There we go. So we're going to let this strike for about, I would say, 15 minutes. And we'll come back to see if we can add the second layer of it. So the reason I'm going the way that I'm going is because Gwi Ma has this blue color tint towards the outside of its being, spirit. I don't know, but like it's not this kind of blue. The colors that we're adding, so the fluid fuchsia and the deep magenta, will darken it and create like a darker navy-ish color, and it will also create some purple, which is what we want. We want those slight transition colors between each layers to create the Gwi Ma spirits thing, demon thing, because this is what it looks like. This is what it sounds like. So sorry. I had a moment right here. Okay, so let's let it cook for 15 minutes and we'll be back. Sorry. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes. And it's looking good. So we can add our second layer. And you'll be able to see the color transition I'm talking about. It's already showing up. Ooh, I love it. I love that. It's exactly what I wanted. Sorry. I'm getting excited. Okay, so I'm sorry. I'm actually quite excited. I sound weird. It's fine. Okay, so we're going to let this go for about 10 minutes, and then we'll come back to work the third layer of color. From there, we'll be able to see if we need to add a fourth layer, or if we want to do maybe we will want to do speckling to represent like the souls being eaten by Gwi Ma. So, see you in 10. Oh, hello, Speedy. Kiruki. So, there's still a bit of color, but I don't mind. We're still good to go. It's gonna absorb in the final layer as well, so that's fine. Let's add our deep magenta. There we go. So, and it was also adding the deep magenta will also help with the depth of the fluid fuchsia. There we go. And the depth of the Caribbean blue. So we will have more dimension when it comes to those colors. Okay. So I really like it so far. Just to open the side that didn't receive as much dye. And it will help me to think what I want to do. And what I think I'm going to do is I think I will do speckles, but with frozen blue and fluorescent fuchsia. Let me grab my respirator real quick. Okay, because we only have one pair of lungs, my friend. So even when you're speckling, you should be wearing a respirator. This is what I'm telling you. So the blue will definitely be for the souls that get taken by Gwi Ma. And the pink will be to add a little bit more pink on here. So a trick that you can do to make sure that you're doing a consistent speckling is to never never open up your fingers. So if you're going to be speckling, you keep your fingers rubbing together like this. You don't do this by accident, okay? Just make sure you need to make sure that you keep your fingers together like this, so you don't have big clumps of dye here and there. So it's a consistent influx of the dry powder. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put a timer for 30 minutes because this is the last layer and we have the right temperature. Friendly reminder that when you're doing yarn dyeing, yes, it's important to count from the moment you apply the last dye, but it is important also that you have the right temperature. So once you have both the last dye and also the right temperature, which is between 85 Celsius and 95 Celsius, you count 30 minutes at least. Okay, so 30 minutes on the dot, and after that what we're going to do is we're going to let it cool off completely before I wash it, the excess dye. So see you in a bit. Okay, so now it's time to wash off excess dye. So I'm expecting quite a bit of bleeding with this Gwi Ma this Gwi Ma color, simply because I've used two colors that have a tendency to bleed quite a bit. So Caribbean blue and fluorescent fuchsia do bleed a lot. And I can already see some purple because blue and pink makes purple. It kind of reminds me also of like Aurora's color from Sleeping Beauty with the pink and blue. It's like the when the when the fairy godmothers are just like fighting for the color. So I'm going to let this sit in here a little bit just to get the excess dyes, most of it out as much as possible, and then we're going to do another bath. Okay, I'll let it. Okay. I knew it. I knew it was gonna be. Okay. I don't know what's bleeding more between the Caribbean blue and the fluorescent fuchsia. But I think we're there. I think we've got most of it out. I think we're doing good. There's a little bit of purple, so let's remove more. One more. I'm going to let this sit in the water for a little bit. Oh, it will have to do. The problem with fluorescent fuchsia is that it bleeds. So unfortunately, there's not much we can do. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put this in the spin dryer, and then after that we're going to let it dry overnight. And here's the final result for a Gwi Ma inspired color. As you can see, we have the subtle colors that I really wanted to in the transitionary color over here, and like I said, that the Caribbean blue would get much darker but still keep this very vibrant blue to represent like this this very specific blue that we can see on the outside of Gwi Ma's aura, spirit, I don't know. And you can see that some of the speckle did absolutely show up nicely, which I'm very excited about, because I really wanted to have those tiny speckles that represents the souls that are being taken from the people. I thought it was something that should be represented somehow onto the yarn, and we have all the variant of pinks, and I'm very excited that we were able to show off those colors. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider sharing, liking, and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one very soon. Bye!